What is going on, guys? It is Ed here, back with your Vanguard news and reveals for the week of 8/26. Whether you're listening on your phone, while you're driving in the car, or just studying or just relaxing, I'm here to give you all your news in a nice podcasty-esque format with visuals if you're watching on your computer. So, let's get right into it. First, we're going over our general news. First, Card Fight Vanguard Dear Days 2 has now been semi-officially announced. I say semi-officially because an image was spreading on Twitter, and then later, shortly after those images started circulating, trending, they posted on the social media channels that this game and the website are now available for viewing. If you want to know more about Vanguard Dear Days 2, I made its own standalone video. It should be popping up on your screen now. And you can find out all my thoughts and everything we know so far about Dear Days 2. Moving on to our card reveals for the week. First one is Roten. I forget the first bits of his name. Auto in the rear guard circle. When this unit attacks, if a normal unit was revealed by an ability of your Vanguard with Solariron in its card name, you may have this unit gain plus 10k until the end of battle. If you did, at the end of that battle, put this unit into your soul. Act. When it's in your soul, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Solariron in its name, bind this card, choose a normal unit without Sentinel from your drop, and put it to the top of your deck. Next is Academic of Envoys Tidy. Auto in the rearguard circle. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Solarion in its card name, and your rearguard was placed on the rearguard from deck this turn. Cost, put this unit into your soul, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, and retire it. Ballistic Harpoon Dragon. Continues in the rearguard and Guardian circle. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Christianos in its card name, this unit gets Intercept and plus 5k shield, making it a total of 10k shield, and it can also intercept from the back row. Now, this is a card I'm actually kind of happy, or not happy, but interested in. Behind the Gates, Aquaforce's secret recipe for the best curry. If your opponent has a face-up card in their G-zone, this card can be played without paying its cost, which the card cost is to discard a card from your hand, choose one of your units being attacked, and it gets plus 10k power until the end of the battle. Choose up to 4 draw triggers without Sentinel from your drop, and call them to the Guardian circle. So if you pitch all of your draws as you're riding up, or throughout the fight, they just end up in the drop, you could call this, and it could be up to a 50k total shield. Moving on to the Lyell reveals. Gear Quetzal of Sweeping Distance. Auto, when this unit is rode upon, if you went second, draw a card. It's our standard starter. Steam Maiden Tiglat. Auto, when this unit is placed from riding from a grade 0 unit, cost, reveal a grade 3 with Lyell from its card name from your right deck, and put the Destined Timepiece token into your order zone. What is that, you ask? It is this card. This card represents the Destined Timepiece token, and it cannot be put into the deck, such as the same thing with Empoleo's Gauge. It has the continuous skill in the order zone. You cannot ride grade 3 or greater cards without Lyell in their card names, and you can have the regress gauges. Essentially, you put cards into this gauge and unlocks bonus effects for Lyell. The grade 2 of the ride line is Life Cessation Colossus. When this unit is placed by riding from Steam Maiden Tiglat, put a card from your hand face up into your regress gauge and draw 2 cards. Destined 1 of Time Lyell Odium. Continues on the Vanguard circle. During your turn, all your front row rear guards get plus 5k power for each of your distorted veins in your regress gauges. So this is not based off of how many is in your gauge, but how much of the order distorted vein. We'll go over that card next after we finish talking about the rest of Lyell's skills. Auto in the Vanguard circle. When this unit attacks, cost Soul Blast 1, choose a card from your rearguard circle or hand. You could put it face up in your regress gauge. If you put a card, this unit gains triple drive until the end of turn. That means that she is vulnerable to old Elementaria Sanctitude. Keep that in mind when you're deck building. Divine Skill, auto in the Vanguard circle. At the end of the battle this unit attacked, if you have 5 or more regress gauges, discard 2 cards from hand, and you get an additional turn. Until the end of that additional turn, this unit gets -1 drive, and the ride phase and main phase are not performed during that additional turn. And they also showed off a secret rare. One thing people noticed, if you look in the bottom left hand corner for the set code, this is a secret rare 2 card, meaning something's taking the 1 slot. So could it be a DSR Lyell? We'll have to wait to find out. Distorted Bane is the order that was talked about in the skill. Cost: play this card if you have a Vanguard with Lyell in its card name. You may soul charge 1. Put this card face up as your regress gauge. Auto: when this unit is put into your regress gauge, draw a card, choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets plus 10k power until the end of turn. Ablaze Chimera. Auto: when this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, if you have a grade 3 or greater with Lyell in its card name, counterblast 1, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 3 or less card from among them, call it to the rearguard circle, and shuffle your deck. Steam Burner Amititana. Auto: when this card is placed on the rearguard circle during your turn, or put as your regress gauge during your turn, choose one of your units and it gets plus 5k power until the end of turn. Almanac Colossus. Auto: when this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, if you have a regress gauge, cost, counterblast 1, draw a card, and soul charge 1. Continuous in the rearguard circle, if you have 3 or more regress gauges, this unit gains boost. One thing I want to point out that I just forgot to mention, with this, if you Persona Road, then activate Divine Skill turn, you lose the Persona Ride power, because it's considered a new turn. Anachronous Dragon. Auto: gauge in the gauge zone. At the beginning of your battle phase, if this card is a regress gauge, counterblast 1, choose a card from your drop and put it face up as your regauge gauge. If you put a card, call this card to the rearguard circle. Auto: in the rearguard circle, when this unit attacks our Vanguard, if you have a grade 3 or greater with Lyell in its card name, until the end of that battle, this unit gets plus 5k power. If you have 3 or more regress gauges, Energy Blast 2, choose one of your opponent's units and retire it. That's all for the Lyell reveals. Moving on to more general reveals. Water Wall Narjay continues on the rearguard Guardian Circle. If you have grade 3 or greater Varlene, this also gains 5k in intercept from the back row. Spring Ignition Zempia. When this card is put into soul by your card's ability during your turn, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, choose one of your units and it gets plus 5k power until the end of turn. Stealth Fiend Cissidia. Continuous in the rearguard Guardian Circle. If your opponent has a card in their G zone, this unit gets plus 5k power, 5k shield. If your opponent has a face-up card in their G zone, plus 10k power, 10k shield instead of the plus 5. This is also active during your opponent's turn. Cardinal Fang Denibria. Continuous in the rearguard circle. All your Shadow Army tokens get the red text. Auto in the rearguard circle. When your other unit is attacked, cost, retire this unit, choose up to one of your units being attacked, and it gets plus 5k power to the end of that battle. It's not that good, but it's coming, so you can't expect too much. Cardinal Draco Noziala. When this unit is placed on the rearguard circle or put into the Guardian Circle, if you have 2 or more Shadow Army tokens, this unit gets plus 10k power and 10k shield until the end of turn. When this unit is retired from the Guardian Circle during your battle phase, return this card to your hand. Alright, moving on to the Night Rose reveals. Marauding Shades Retrain. Hollow, we already know what the Hollow ability is. Auto in the rearguard circle. When this unit becomes hollowed, if you have a Vanguard with Vampire Prince and Nightfog Night Rose, Auto in the rearguard circle. When this unit becomes hollowed, if you have the Night Rose crest, this unit gets plus 5k power until the end of turn. If you have 10 or more cards in your drop, it gains the 10k instead of the 5k. Auto, when this unit is put on the Guardian Circle, if you have the Night Rose crest, this unit gets plus 5k shield, making it a 10k shield. If you have 10 or more cards in drop, it becomes a 15k shield. And now, the final stride reveal for Night Rose. Night Phantasm Pirate King Night Rose. As usual, there's a reminder text of it has to go to the G zone and it's not the main deck, and how to perform a stride. Its skill is Auto on the Vanguard Circle, Generation Break 2. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, counterblast 1 and retire 2 rearguards, choose up to 2 grade 2 or greater cards with different names from your drop, and call them to the rearguard circle. Then, if you have 10 or more cards in your drop, this unit gets plus 1 critical until the end of battle. If you have 15 or more cards in your drop, all the units called gain plus 10k as well until the end of turn. Looking ahead at next week. Firstly, we're going to go over Tuesday, they're going to go over episode 8 and episode 9's synopsis. Then they're going to show 3 cards that support future Hikairis, Layout Amorta. And finally, they're going to reveal the last 2 cards in the Harry deck set, and they're going to be opening the product on stream. Then on Thursday, they are going to show a brand new Grade 3 Eugene. He is making a comeback into Standard and introducing 6 cards, including a completely new ride line. One thing that's worth noting is the Eugene they're showing here. He is a double rare instead of a triple rare. So we're going to see what Bushiroad's cooking. But that's all for today's news. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay with me with the news. I'll talk to you all later.